Hey everyone, welcome back. This is my official review on this channel for Gargantia on the Verdrous planet, the anime series, or if you want to go by the Japanese version, it's Suisei no Gargantia. So, yeah, this is a 13 episode anime series, and there will be an OVA coming out later this year, which during the summer anime season, which I will review in and of itself when it comes out. Alright, and give my thoughts on it there. But basically, Gargantia on the Verdrous planet is actually one of the animes I was reviewing episodically for the spring anime season. Gargantia on the Verdrous planet is a 13 episode anime series. It was written by Kazuya Murata. And it was written by Kazuya Murata and Gen Urobuchi. The music was by Taro Iwashiro and... hold on a sec here. Okay, and it was produced by Production IG. Alright. Now, the plot basically revolves around Leto, a soldier in the Galactic Alliance, who, after failing a battle against these creatures known as Hidaezis, which I will refer to as whale squid in this video, because that's what the Earth humans know them as. He falls to a wormhole and falls to Earth, which previously in folklore had believed to be abandoned because of a freeze over and then a thaw out. Not abandoned. It was believed to have been, like all humans on Earth that didn't escape were believed to be extinct. However, it revealed that there were humans that were able to adapt to the new conditions and therefore survive. The only humans that we know of who are still living on Earth are living on a huge ship, which is comprised of many smaller ships connected to each other, known as Gargantia. Alright, and this is basically our main area of the series. Right, when Leto crashes, he doesn't even know their language, because apparently for some reason, even though humans used to be on Earth, I guess when they went to space, they got a different language or something. So, due to his AI, well, basically he fights in this mechanized robot known as Chamber, which is basically an artificial intelligence unit. And Chamber has to decipher the language so he can speak it, so he can interact with them. The series basically follows Leto learning Gargantia's customs and disagreeing with a lot of them, such as their non-violent attitude. When pirates attack Gargantia, well, I'll get to the next part in a second, but when pirates attack Gargantia, the Gargantians are unwilling to fight back, and when Leto fights back, they get really mad at him because they have a really non-violent history, I guess. Alright, which I don't agree with Gargantia, because if someone's attacking you and you want to live, you have to fight back. That's just a fact of life. And I don't know if the Gargantians ever really learned this or not. Alright. And also when the whale squid attack, which are basically the enemies of the Galactic Alliance. And there's a huge plot twist which involves them towards the end of the series, which I will not spoil because it's just such a fucking epic twist that I'm not going to spoil that, alright? But yeah, as I was saying before, those series basically mainly revolves around, for the majority of it anyways, Leto learning the Gargantia's language and learning their customs, learning about their society, meeting new characters such as Amy and Bellows and Rigid and Pinion and whatnot, and forming an interesting relationship with them, especially with Amy, which is Leto's love interest, alright? And that's basically the gist of the series. The plot is quite original, and although it has giant robots in it, even Gargantia has their own types of robots, the series doesn't really focus, like, the main focus of the series isn't really on the giant robot battles, although when there is giant robot battles, it is fucking amazing. Like, the animation in the series is top-notch. Alright, it really is. And the art style, it looks so good. But then again, that's probably partially because it's done by a hentai artist. But the less I said about that, the better. What? Is it weird that I know that? Anyways. And that's basically the gist of it, though. The characters are also really likable as well. Leto himself doesn't really like Gargantia too much at first, because they're basically, when the whale squid arrive, they don't want him to fight them, which he believes is his sole purpose of existence. Alright. And that gets him to temporarily reject even Amy, who's definitely fallen for him at that point. Right. Another notable character is definitely Rigid, who is a very strong female character. After the fleet commander Fairlock dies, she basically inherits that position. She's not his daughter or anything, but Fairlock was always a really good friend of Rigid's father, and that's why, basically. So, yeah, but that's basically all the series amounts to. Now, for the first half of the series, it's really slow. Not really boring, but I do think that's definitely the worst part of it. And I do think that's a flaw of the series. It's mainly just Leto coming to terms with their customs and learning the ways of Gargantia and realizing he can't fucking stand it and then he has to leave. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I just think it could have been executed better. And also, that very last scene at the end of the very last episode seems like it could be a cliffhanger scene for a second season, but it's very unclear, though, I felt. Alright. But other than that, I really don't think there's anything else. Also, like, the romantic relationship between Leto and Amy looked like it was going to go somewhere, and even towards the end, looked like maybe they were falling for each other, but I wish that was given a little bit more attention and whatnot. For this type of thing, I think it would have been benefited more from a higher episode count. Maybe, I don't know, 15 to 20 episodes, I think would have been perfect, so that I could flesh out the characters more. Like, the only three main characters that were really fleshed out a great deal, no, 4 actually, were Leto, of course, Amy, Rigid, and not Bellows. Rigid and Pinion. I'm not counting Pinion, though, because I really didn't give much of a shit about his character to begin with. Okay. But other than that, I really couldn't think of any other flaws of the series, though. The soundtrack is amazing, especially that opening, and the ending's okay. As I said before, the art style is really good, but that's just because it's by a hentai artist. The animation is top-notch. There's very few still image scenes in the series, which is very impressive, even in this day and age. Okay, the characters are hit or miss. You know, like I said, Leto, Amy, and Rigid were really good. Pinion, they tried to flesh out, but I didn't really get much of a shit of him. And Bellows was a good character, but I thought there was so much more that could have been done with that character than what was done. And I wish they focused a little bit more on the pirates, too. who also have giant robots, by the way, which is why another reason why I think the series would have benefited more from a higher episode count. All right, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, I wish it would have explained a little bit more about the Galactic Alliance and about Stryker, who's actually a giant robot, who's the basically, without spoiling too much about the ending, Stryker was the giant robot that belonged to Commander Kugel, who was Leto's commander in the Galactic Alliance, who is dead. Leto saw him die, but towards the end of the series, Leto thought he was alive, but really that was just an image that Stryker was making for Leto. And Stryker was actually the final enemy and whatnot. And who does end up being destroyed in the end, by the way. So yeah, but overall, I'm going to give Gargantia on the Verdrous planet, also known as Suicide on Gargantia, an overall rating of 8.2 out of 10 because, you know, it was really good. I really enjoyed this series. The spring season of anime definitely didn't disappoint. Alright. I really enjoyed it, and I really hope that it gets a second season. I think they would benefit highly from a second season. If it does, I hope that it focuses more on two major aspects. Leto's and Amy's relationship with one another, and also the pirates. And also maybe a little bit more character development for Bellows. And also, I can't wait to see what the OVA will be like later on this summer. So yeah. Anyways though, overall, hope you enjoyed this review, guys. See you after, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.